Hello, Three Things with Ian, episode 46, February 15th. On today's episode, I'm going to finally share with you some of the animals that have been lurking in the background. First things first, welcome back to those who have seen me before. Friendly hello, and welcome to those for this is the first episode. What a ride. All right, so my first thing, bring over the doggo. Okay, this is Pippa. Pippa is a Corgi. She's had some bacon, so she got some nice bacon breath. She is one of the loves of my life, and she is about, November's her birthday, so a little over a year old, 30 pounds, 3-inch legs, a lot of power, a lot of muscle, and a lot of heart. So this is Pippa. She's now internet famous. This is your moment to shine, Pippa. All right, that's Pippa. And behind me was Jules, our black kitty. I think that, so, not sure how many of you have had the pleasure of cohabitating with a cat and a dog, but this relationship has kind of been, unfortunately, non-existent. Cat and the dog, Pippa, Jules and Pippa don't really get along too well, despite our best efforts. Just maybe old habits are hard to break. Anyway, I just wanted to introduce Pippa to you. Busy day ahead of me today, so I had to be creative, and I said, hey, why not share with you all Pippa? So let me close that door again. All right, so my number two thing, though, had the pleasure, I guess one of the nice things when you pay for all these streaming services, occasionally you get the benefit of a fun movie coming down the pike that you feel like it's free, but it's absolutely not free. The movie Flow. It's a Latvian film, so the title, this is the English translation. I don't know my Latvian very well, so I think that, I'm not sure if this is a great translation, but it's called Flow. This is a 85-minute, it's not a silent film. There's just no humans. There's no dialogue. It follows a cat. All the animals are unnamed. It follows a cat who is living in what appears to be an idyllic Australia, Tahiti. It's very unclear. Maybe Polynesian. Part of the fun about this movie is that there's so many unknowns. Because without the humans, there's just a lot of things that you have to kind of bridge that gap yourself. So anyway, we have a cat, and then we have a massive flood occurs, like tsunami level to the extreme. Water's rising. Gender for me, she finds a boat. She befriends eventually a lemur, a very tall bird, a stork-like bird, a number of dogs, and a capybara. And they basically have a journey. You see the world unfold. Water's rising. They need to find food. They need to find land. They need to remain safe from what appears to be a non-existent mythical whale creature. Like I said, this movie is a trip, but the animal behaviors are incredibly realistic. It kind of reminded me of the first 10 minutes of WALL-E, where Wally's basically like, Wally, right? But he emotes, and you can understand what's going on. So, the animal behaviors, the animal vocalizations, the animal cues, deeply immersive world. If I looked into this, it took him 5.5 years to make. This Latvian filmmaker, he made the entire movie on a free software program called Blender, where you can create movies and visualizations. It was nominated for an Academy Award. It's the greatest Latvian film of all time, and I got that from a Latvian website, by the way. I'm not making that up. Just the unique cinematic experience in a time where we don't have a lot of truly unique things. Like I said, there's hints. It's not dystopian. It's not post-apocalyptic. There's no humans, but it's not clear if the humans the humans are gone before this tidal wave, this tsunami, clearly. So the wave is not necessarily ending life for any of these humans. There's monuments, there's statues, there's kind of proto cities that they explore. There's a really evocative soundtrack. Check out Flow. I don't think everybody's gonna love it, but I think everybody's gonna find something enjoyable about it. It's streaming on HBO Max. It's probably available anywhere else. It's just fun to sometimes to do something cinematically that you haven't seen for a while or been part of. So I've always been drawn to, like Wallace and Gromit. Some of their episodes with that studio, Shaun the Sheep, have been quote unquote silent, non-dialogue films. Just interesting stuff. Check out Flow, Latvian film. It will leave an impact on you for sure. It is beautifully done, regardless of if you find it enjoyable or not. So I showed you Pippa. I tried to show you Jules, our black kitty. My number 3 thing is I want to start the discussion on how much cream cheese is appropriate for a bagel. And I think that this varies significantly between the realities of making your own bagel in-house and then going to like a Dunkin' Donuts or something and getting, that restaurant experience, right? Not necessarily getting like an actual schmear, but still a cream cheese base. But I think there's the difference between making it at home. If I make it at home, my default is really to get a good bagel. Costco, Trader Joe's have good bagels. I like to toast it pretty dark. Maybe a 4 out of 5, 4 out of 6. So definitely like a nice golden, I guess one step beyond golden brown. And I want to put cream cheese on it after allowing it to cool for like 15-20 seconds, just so the cream cheese doesn't melt immediately and lose its viscosity and surface tension. So I also like to, when I make bagels at home, I alternate. I will butter both bagels one day, or both halves, and then I'll do cream cheese the next, just to kind of build in some variation. But I think that the expectations when you go to a restaurant, when you go to a Dunkin' Donuts or you go to a bagel shop, man, it's like a different product. They load it up, and it's okay. For some reason, like it feels different. It would be considered almost revolting amount of cream cheese, but for some reason, it's what you expect, I guess, when you're maybe paying for it or getting it at a different location. But let's just start the conversation, guys. I grew up in New England, Dunkin' Donuts on every street corner. Not necessarily a big bagel connoisseur. Love a good bagel. Prefer a bagel sandwich. I like some egg and protein. If I was going to make the ultimate bagel sandwich, for me, it starts with some sort of vegetable, maybe like a green pepper, even a tomato. And then like a nicely folded egg and bacon or ham. I take both, honestly. So anyway, how much cream cheese do you put on bagels? I think it varies from like a very thin, like an icing, like when you have weather reports and they say like 1/10 of an inch of an icing, to people that, inch, like a legitimate inch of filling, and it pops it up, right? It's almost like a burger where you have the bun and then you have like that meat, that patty, and that patty is just that cream cheese. So I know that people have a lot of opinions on what makes a good bagel. Even if you toast your bagel before you put cream cheese on it, I think a lot of people are purists, and if they're going to do cream cheese as opposed to butter, they might want to just have it on an untoasted bagel. I think there's no doubt if you're going to butter your bagel, it's not kind of weird I said that. When you're going to butter your bagel, it needs to be toasted, and I like an extra toast. I want that crunch. I want not a caramelization, obviously, because you're not getting that kind of heat and it's a starch. But I do want it to be not blackened, but I do like to be a step beyond golden and a step below blackened. All right, so those are my 3 things today. I'm glad you finally saw Pippa. One of these days I'll get Jules. She went right underneath the bed as soon as Pippa entered the room. And then check out the movie Flow. Its visual storytelling, animal behavior is top notch. Emotional depth too. Not a tearjerker, but you'll feel something. And great world building. Let me know if you were getting some like Polynesian vibes. I think it's specifically like there's a Tibetan thing, there's an Incan thing. It's a blend. It's a melange of a lot of different cultures. I think that makes it fun. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Be good to yourselves. Tell a friend. Share the podcast, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.